Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you how to build a Lego fishing boat inspired by the latest Pixar animation, Luca. There are many different ways to build a Lego boat. We can use standard pieces like this red one, and up here I will put a link to one of my previous mock where I use one of those. Or maybe we can go big. If you are planning on building a huge ship, then you can use those big parts. What we want to do is go for brick build boat. Maybe you can use a regular inverted slope, but I decided this time to take a different approach. So now we're gonna start building the side, one of the sides of the boat, using mainly curved slope and plates. So here we're gonna start with the first part, and we're gonna make a smooth transition from the cheese slope with tiles to the curved slope. Every level is gonna be raised one tile, and it's gonna work in the same way. So basically the three layers are basically the same, just one plate higher. So that we're gonna give a little bit of this boat shape. Same thing we're gonna do to the last layer, where I decided to add some brackets, and you will see later why. The color is not the best, but I don't have any of those in red, and I'm missing one little 1x1 bracket in that gap that maybe I will add later on once I can get my hands on one of those. Of course, this is only one side of the boat, and we need to mirror it and build the left side. Now, the central part is a little bit awkward, I would say. Of course, we are using a lot of modified bricks where the sides of the boat will connect. This structure in the middle is just to make it a little bit higher to create the base of the boat layer. These slopes are gonna create the front part of the boat. Now, as you can see, we are gonna connect the first half of the boat to the front and to the back. So now this connection is getting quite solid. There are 3 points of attachment at the back and one at the front. Here in the middle we are gonna add one of those black panels. That's not the right piece, again, just because I don't have the right color, and that will be needed later once I will place one fish into the boat, and later I will explain you why. A little bit of tiles in the middle to create the base for the cabin, and then we are gonna close everything with the other side of the boat. As you can see, we still have a few modified bricks and we still have a few studs open for other parts of the boat. But let's finish up the front, and that is still moving, as you can see, and we need to create a little bit higher profile at the front. Same issue over here. That inverted curved slope is in black because I don't have any brown ones, but I will proceed to change it once I can get my hands on those pieces. Now, I decided to create a profile of the boat using those dark tan pieces, but first we have to complete the front part of the boat. And here, since this build is inspired by the latest animation Luca from Pixar and Disney, that is an animation that is taking place in Italy, more exactly in Liguria, which is near Cinque Terre, and those fishing boats always carrying the flags of the country, and in the animation, of course, there is the Italian flag. So here is the solution that I found, using that little bracket inside to align the flag with the side of the boat. Now that the front is completed, we can proceed to close everything up with these dark tan edges on top, and basically adjust a set of plates and tiles. We will cover those brackets even if there are still, as I told you before, a few gaps that need to be filled in order to make this mod a little bit better. And then of course we are still missing the back part of the boat. We have two studs open there to create still a curved profile, but not too sharp. So here I had to use this modified plate with the two holes in the middle of the stud, because it will allow me to connect everything and to have a little bit of offset. So all this back structure is actually aligning to those two open studs at the back of the boat, but all of these layers, all of these three layers, are a little bit offset. Another piece that I will have to change is that white bracket, because I didn't have any more in gray, and also that is one piece that will soon change. Okay, now biggest part of the boat is done. We need to proceed to create the cabin, which was one of the iconic part of this little boat in the animation. The base is pretty similar. I use one of these 1x3 jumpers to place the front window, and then two panels on the side will close the cabin, which actually cannot fit any accessory or minifigures, but at this scale I think for now is a good compromise. Then an interesting technique here on top, I use those two rounded plate with hole in the middle and another two jumpers on top of the 1x3, so that I can connect these slopes on top a little bit offset, so it's a little bit more accurate and a little bit more detailed, and is not following a straight line up from the walls of the cabin, but I think it's a nice and simple way to achieve that offset. So now you see the boat is looking quite okay with the flags, with the cabin, a very small size, but of course you can make it longer, you can make it taller, you can make it bigger. Here I have one of these red lantern that I use as a, how would we call it, a buoy on the side of the boat. Actually is the one to avoid when you bring it to the port from the boat to bump into the walls of the port. Here is the fishing equipment, and now of course here we need to add one fisherman. Here we have a nice minifigure with a nice white old beard sitting there in that corner on one leg. And now to add a little bit more details, of course one fish that has already been caught and is now ready to go back to the port, and then a little bit more details on the side, and of course we needed to add one of these that I got from the old fishing store set, one of the best Lego Ideas set that I had. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the new video, and I highly recommend you to go and watch the animation Luca. I will put a link to the trailer down below in the description.